Hi, I'm Jenna Vogt. I'm a senior broadcasting journalism major from White Bear Lake, Minnesota, and I'm 22 years old. I'm a Thunderbird gymnast, a flippin' bird, and I'm proud of it. Sounds kind of weird to say, but I really think I was born to be a gymnast.
According to gymnastics terms, Jenna started pretty late. Everybody else probably started when they were 4 or 5. Jenna didn't start until she was 7.
I was a natural. I was flexible. I was super strong. And I knew how to do every event. It just came so easy to me, and it was natural. Home for me, it's just being in Minnesota. I'm a Midwest girl.
I love and enjoy home.
My parents wanted to get out of the cities. They wanted a nice yard for our dogs because we have 2 labs, and my parents are obsessed with my dogs. I'm really close with my parents. We have a really good relationship. They've always supported me through school and gym, and same with my brothers too. I have 2 older brothers. I'm the little baby, and they've always watched over me and made sure no one, messed around with me.
Picked on her a lot.
Yeah,
So I think we really toughened her up. Tying her up to beds and shutting the door and turning the lights off. We did
left
that
her in the dark. Yeah.
Let's just say I'm tough now because of what my brothers put me through.
Just trying to make her tough. That way, we don't have to protect her. She can protect herself.
Yeah. I mean, she can't beat us up, but most
Yeah.
other guys she can.
Yeah.
Growing up with boys, it's like they'll pick on you, they'll get to your last nerve, and you just, you don't, if you're wrestling them or something, you don't give up because you want to prove a point. You can relate that with athletics as well. I never gave up. If I wasn't getting something right away, I would never give up.
It's definitely was a blessing in disguise. It was hell growing up, but they made me who I am today, and I would not have it any other way.
They really taught me to have, no fear and just keep working, and it's hard to relate that with growing up with brothers, but it truly did help me remarkably. I did gymnastics in school. That was my life since I was 8 years old. It'd be waking up, going to school in the morning, then right after going to gym till 8 o'clock at night. I did that all through middle school, all through high school, and now all through college. I practice my guts out every single day because I love competing. The thrill of it is it's indescribable. You can't describe it. You have adrenaline, you have nervousness, you have butterflies, you have excitement. All these emotions mixed into one, and you have to learn how to just calm yourself down right before you go. And that's just what I love about it. It's not fighting yourself, but it's getting yourself at a level in order to show off what you work your whole life for. Finals week, I was super busy all semester. I was trying to crunch everything in so I could graduate in May. Finally, Friday practice came along. We were gonna do the floor lineup. I was warming up my first pass. The first one I did alone, I was doing a runoff back handspring double pike, and right when I took off, it felt like someone threw a brick at me or took a bat to the back of my leg. I kept flipping and flipping, and I had to land on it. Trainer came over, and he just did the test and walked away on his phone. So I knew right away that something seriously was happening and something was wrong. Then he came back, and he was like, "Okay, well, Jenna, you tore your Achilles." And I'm like, "Okay, how sure are you?" "I'm 99% sure." I'm like, "Well, do I need surgery?" He's like, "Yeah, you do." And that's when I started crying, and that's when I knew that everything was done and over, and my season was done. The first thing that went through my mind was, why me? Not why me, but why now? Why right now? Why my last semester? Why my last year? My body has been doing gymnastics for, 14 years? I couldn't handle 4 more months of it. I had some goals that I wanted to reach. I wanted, to win WAC. I wanted to make it to nationals, and I really think I could have done it. I know I could have done it. It sucks to think that this is how my career ended, on a first pass that I've been doing since I was 12 years old. And it's just done like that. It's just over. And that's been the hardest part, is there's no closure to something that I've had in my entire life that's defined who I am. It's probably the hardest thing. It's just hard. I never once thought that I'd be coming to Utah for college. Everything's a really close-knit feel here, and that's kind of what I had back at home with my high school and all my friends and my family, so it made it easier to come into like a Southern Utah family like this. Part of the reason why I chose Southern Utah is the academic standard that they hold. Academics is taken very seriously if you're on this team. The school really cares about each student. That's what I felt like, and as well as my coaches and my team, so that's what made the transition easier.
I went home over Easter and I opened up a letter from Southern Utah. I'm graduating with high honors. That's something that I never would have expected I could have done. And my eyes started to tear up because I never would have thought that I could achieve any kind of academic success. And I've never cried over any gymnastics accomplishment. I never knew that I'd be graduating college with honors, and that's my ultimate accomplishment that I've ever received in my life.
My coach has always brought us up, telling us there's more to life than gymnastics. I've always lived by that.
And too many kids think gymnastics is the whole world and everything like that, and everything revolves around that. But Jenna never really thought that way. She had a good perspective and a good handle on her gymnastics.
In high school, it was individual. You really only paid attention to yourself. Once high school is all said and done and over, you know, you move on to your college. It's about the team, it's about the fans, it's about the community, it's about your coaches, it's about the little girls who watch you and look up to you. You're not only doing the sport for yourself, but you're doing it for the joy of other people. Me getting hurt, I feel, has almost been a blessing. I've always been the competitor. I've never looked at gymnastics from this perspective. People truly care. People know who you are, and you're making a difference in the community. Maybe I needed to know the impact that I had on people. The fans don't really care about scores. They care about your heart. They care about your attitude, your spirit, you know, the way you support your team. And so what? I tore my Achilles and I'm out my senior year. I can still do so much for my team, and that's a role that, you know, I'm taking on and I'm proud of doing.
Jenna was more of she was a spiritual and worker leader. She led by complete example. She's one of the most ferocious competitors I've ever coached.
A mental push for any of my teammates during competition is just as important as a routine from me and a score. If I wanted to, I could sit this year out and come back next year and compete, be a fifth-year senior.
She still has a year of eligibility, and she still has to come back from this injury. And those are all things that Jenna has to deal with, and they're big, they're huge decisions.
That's something that I've also been battling is, do I come back or do I not come back? Am I ready to be done or am I not ready to be done?
Jenna's relationship with gymnastics has always been that it's always been on her terms. Gymnastics never came first. She always controlled how much it meant in her life. So now this is taking control.
I at least know that I have an option, and I at least know that I can come back if I wanted to, but it's a question that has been in my head. It's driving me crazy.
Club level, and then, you know, through college, if, you know, we were at a meet, if Jenna fell, we all fell. You know, it was just kind of, you know, family sport, you know, what we felt it was. And then the injury affected all of us.
I definitely would like to see her compete again.
I don't want to be back unless I'm at my full potential like I was before this season.
Would want her to do what she feels is best, number one, for her education, if she could, you know, better herself that way. But if she's going to come back, she wants to compete, but she's going to want to do it at a level that is 100%. She does not do things at 80%.
She'll be able to come back on all 4 events and be able to do them brilliantly. But as a coach, I love Jenna as a person, not as an athlete.
She's a very, very determined person, and anything she decides to take up or put her mind to, she just doesn't stop until she dominates.
I had a friend pass away, my old teammate, Abby Zott. She was diagnosed with bone cancer when she was 16, and she passed away before she graduated high school. When you lose a teammate, that's your family. You grow up with them in the gym. She is my motivation. She is what gets me through the hard gym days. She's what gets me through every day. To experience losing a teammate and a really good friend, that's really what has helped me put things in perspective.
She just taught me that there is more to life than a sport. There is more to life than gymnastics. I've proved to myself that I'm a good gymnast and I'm a good athlete, and I really don't need a score or a loud roar from a crowd to kind of define what kind of gymnast I am. I chose to go home, not to stay for a 5th year, because I think that I've done all that I can in 4 years. You know, I got a lot in store for me, and I'm more excited for the next chapter of my life. I was state champion multiple times. I was a 6-time JO national competitor. My senior year, I finished 10th in the nation at nationals. Got a full ride scholarship. 2nd place at the WAC in the all-around my freshman year. Sophomore year, I was 3rd place in the all-around at WAC.
At the end of her sophomore year, she was injured, and she still was able to go out, even though her ankle was in very bad shape, and compete bars for us at the regional championships. Trust me, Jenna was not going to sit on the sidelines in that meet. She was adamant, and she was very confident. And if Jenna shows me those 2 things, then I will let Jenna make the call. Still love it. I still look back on that moment, and it's one of the coolest moments in coaching. This year, she would have been, in my opinion, probably at least one of the top 1 or 2 all-arounders we've ever had.
You know, I really can look back at my gymnastics career and be proud of it. I'm so blessed for even having this experience. I feel it in my gut that it's the right decision. My absolute dream is to go home, then ultimately find a job in the broadcasting field, work my way up, become a lead anchor at a station in Minneapolis, have a family, and I'm just so excited for all the opportunities I'll have when I get home. I have a lot left in store. There's so many things I'm looking forward to, and there's just a lot of life left to live, and that's what I'm most excited for.
My name is Jenna Vogt, and I'm a T-Bird.